I'm going to do is get her sticky feet. Okay, so you just take the backing off, and then she's going to step on them. So the goal is natural. So if you don't put the sticky feet down, then the bottoms of their feet will get very dark. So their hands and feet absorb the most color. So you'll step on those. So the next thing you're going to do is, so what's great about it is they're always going to use our lotion for their hands and feet. So by doing this, not only are you giving them a barrier so it doesn't get too dark, but they get to smell our lotion, they get to feel it, and then they get to buy it. Okay. So you just put a little bit for hands and feet. And while you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're checking out their skin. So you want to make sure, especially during the winter, if they have very dry skin and you observe that, then you would want to talk to them and recommend the moisturizing lotion as opposed to the tan extending lotion. And then this is for your hands. The other reason you do this too is to also just create a personal touch. So a lot of people really enjoy it that you're taking the extra step to make sure that it's going to look very realistic and very even. So you always have a little towel next to you to make sure that if you're using too much solution for the lotion, you just use it for your personal hands. So I always keep it like this. The gun is here. So there's different settings right here, and there's different settings here, and then this is what you push to spray it. So the hose connects to right here, and then locks in. So once it's on, is this where you usually keep it to?
Is this the bigger gun or the small gun?
This is an older version. It's a smaller one.
I do a 3. I go down to the 2 at the arms, and then back to the 3.
So every gun is calibrated a little different. So normally 3 is a really good number to start at.
What effect does that do to the spray? Does it go wider? Or
yeah, it's how much comes out. So
is 3 the most pressure?
No, 8.
okay.
Yeah, so it can come out quite a bit. So you want to start at 3. If you notice that it's too light or it's not really coming out, you can't see it, then you can always up it. But you would rather, especially getting used to this, start out lightly, and you can always add more. The goal is you do not want to go over their skin more than twice. So keep that in mind. If it's too light, then definitely change it. But you don't want to keep going up and down, up and down. It should only be 2 times over that spot. Always up and down like this, never side to side.
What about the nozzle in the front of the gun? You said that's another
Setting.
Yeah, so this goes up and down right here. You always want that down because you're always going vertical.
I see. Okay.
So that is always down, and we're going to start at 3.
What's down?
This is always down.
Right.
So see, it goes up and down.
Oh, okay.
It's very intimidating
now
when you get it in the mail. You have to.
The number of
find
things, is this 1 or is this 1, 2?
Never up and down. Always
Okay,
yeah.
just the, okay, all right. And then from that, and that's 2. Okay.
Do we have a before and after photo? Please.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I have some stretch marks. I don't know.
So do I.
Before and after.
Me too. She want to go down.
Darker?
Okay.
How dark?
Dark,
Really?
Wow. We might want to use the
Without being orange.
So are we gonna tell her this is what I recommend?
Yeah, if she's, have you done it before? Yeah. If she's done it before and she says she wants to go really dark, that's
Of course.
Her skin is better. It's hard to absorb all the pigment on her skin, so before she see you UV light tan, she has to use the spray tan before she can go to UV light. So, you know, she really
So supposedly your tattoos is gonna look really great.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll see it, and this will be really good so you can see the difference with her because we're gonna go darker. Okay, so I brought the 9%, which is the universal
9%.
color. So you see that on the sheet. 9% is universal, and the rapid is the darkest.
Mhm.
So,
Rapid 13%.
so we're gonna go with the rapid. So in order to switch the containers, this is actually good. So you're gonna go all the way up to 8.5. You're gonna go until you can't go any further, and you're gonna hold on to the trigger because you want all of this solution to come out. So then you just put it on the ground.
For
How
safety,
many
wouldn't you?
ounces? Oh, all the way, almost. all the
Yep,
way
and you
up.
just hold the trigger until it comes out, and then you're just gonna switch it.
That's the doctor one.
And is it also full? Like that?
Almost. So you never want it all the way at the top. You can see on the sides here it goes by ounces.
Right.
So approximately a little over 2 ounces is how much one person should be using. If you're using way more than 2 ounces, something's wrong.
Mhm.
The setting is off, or you're possibly going over their skin way too many times.
Mhm.
So about 2 to 2.5 ounces per person is the ideal scenario.
It doesn't matter how tall they are or how little they are.
If they're like a little girl, then maybe less.
10-year-old,
But
For
yeah,
the
on
most part,
average.
it's okay.
And so if it's not dark enough, then you might need to switch the solution. But if you open it up too much, it will bead up. So you'll see it, but you want to be able to go up and down their skin without any beading, as if it looks like it's being spray painted on. It should look very even. There should not be any beading. If it starts to run, then they either have lotion on their skin or you're too close to their body. So you might need to pull back a little bit. So when I turn this on, it's kind of a little loud. So does anyone have questions before I start?
Did you say the effect of? Did you say the effect of the tanning on that colored tattoo is gonna
Yeah, it'll pop.
highlight it?
Right,
It'll
Okay.
pop, and not to put you on the
No,
spot,
it's okay.
but once I tan her, I'm gonna have you guys step a little closer,
Okay.
and maybe you guys can see it. You can see the tattoo, and you can see she'll
The
have a
effect.
tan line. Yeah. So you guys can come closer once we do that. So what I'm gonna do right now is I do, as you saw in the video, one body part at a time. So I'm gonna start with the top of her leg at her bathing suit line and go down. I never spray tan her hands and feet. I let go, and the excess will go on those areas. If you spray tan their hands and feet, they will get way too dark. So you'll see as I do that, but that is something to definitely keep in mind. When you get to their wrist and their ankle, you let go.
You wanna stay on this side so you can see?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to do this here so you guys can see. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have you take one
Yeah,
step forward.
Yeah.
And you can leave, like, I'll tell you when you're taking.
Okay.
And I'll always guide them where I'm going. So I always tell them where I'm starting, and then I'll guide them so that they know and they're not startled. Okay. So it's just air. You want me to spray it a little bit more, or maybe a little bit, yeah. Okay. So you're always gonna put it to the right, and you're gonna spray it because I changed the container to make sure it's coming out. Okay, so then you start up here. I don't think it's connected. So you always put it to the right like that so you can tell. Okay, let me try this. Okay. So see how it comes out now? it's too light, then I'll. Does that feel okay? It's not going on an actual foot. Even that is, and how it's not dripping. Okay, and then this leg turn outwards like that. So now you'll get the inside of their leg.
Oh, you like Filipino now?
Huh?
You look like Filipino.
It's not where you can't stand it. Feels good actually. It's like a cooling effect, almost like a cucumber feeling, like almost like a cooling, soothing.
Okay, and then you'll turn around.